up, guys? Ant here.
And Tony with Ant's Tony Hookah and hookahpro.com, bringing you guys a very, very special review. Long anticipated review.
I don't know about that, but
we've been talking about it for the last 10 shisha reviews.
Probably.
So,
Alright, so
finally here.
The Kaloud Lotus.
Yep.
And it comes in this nice box. It lets you know that you're paying $50 for it, so it's letting you know that you're getting a
quality piece of equipment.
Yeah, a quality product.
Yep. So crack this baby open and see what's inside it.
So you just have this this foam protecting it.
Yep.
It's a very soft foam, so you know it's going to be safe. And then you get the Lotus itself. I don't know if that's even in frame.
Let me see. Yep. So this is the Lotus in my hand. As you can see, it's all stainless steel. And
grab the coals to show how you put that in.
What it is it gets rid of the need for tin foil and poking holes.
Does a pretty good job too.
For every bowl. This is the bottom part.
Show those the slits in the bottom.
You put the coals right in here, and you can see through up here, right in here.
That's
you
where
can probably see my finger. That's where the air lets out into the bowl.
What's
and
into the bowl?
That's on the bottom. See little slits there? Yep, you can see those. It's kind of a little bit dirty right now. We just finished using it. And cleaned it. And there's screws in there, so you know it's all in there very well. It's not going to break or anything.
One of the complaints I have is these screws. They make it so it doesn't sit completely flush with the bowl. But that's really the only exterior. Well, that's really the only problem with the unit itself.
Yep, and this is the
like the windscreen,
wind cover adapter thing. And as you can see, if you turn this little thing here, it releases air into the bowl, or keeps the air in the bowl. The heat, more likely. And this rubber thing comes right off. It's a high heat piece just to protect your fingers. Right. Because the whole thing heats as one solid piece of metal. So this will get very hot. Yeah, even the top part here will get really hot. And what you do is you just have it on the bowl and you just spin it around. I don't know if you can even see that. And the cool thing about that is even if you open the vents, if it gets too hot, you can just pull the whole cover off. You lift it off and you still got the coals right in there. Yeah, and how you're going to do that is you're just going to put them... Hold on, let me see. Well, I can just put it up to them after. Aim the camera down a little bit. You can just put them up after. Obviously, you're going to want to do this with tongs, not your fingers. Okay, I put it in fit. See it? It is kind of tricky to finagle them in there. There's the camera. But what you're going to do is you're going to put two like that. And then we never had to add a third coal because it heats the whole bowl at once. So you don't really need 3 coals. But if you do want 3 coals, you'd probably do something like this. Like 2 coals normally, and then put in there, and one Stonehenge. You won't be able to fit another one. Yep, and these are Cocoa Buzz coals. So they're all cut to like a pretty even size. Yep. Except this one. This one's pretty big. But yeah. See, you have 2 coals in here. And there's no need to ash them. That's a big one. No need to ash them. I do rotate them just because I feel like I feel like that you should. Like after every set of coals, you put them in different spots. So say you have them this way horizontally. The next bowl, or the next rotation of coals, you're going to have them facing vertically like that. Let me see that. Yeah. And once these 2 coals get kind of small, I'll put them. Once they're small, I'll put them to one side, and then I'll add another one. Yep. So I'll use the 2 coals as one normal size coal, just to get like a good amount of heat going, because if this thing cools off a little bit, then it won't smoke because it needs to be hot. Yeah, it needs to be hot. It'd probably need to heat up all over again. It takes like 5 minutes to get it going, where you should just let it go instead of... You don't want to keep hitting it over and over again. You'll probably get like a headache, but just let it sit 5 minutes and then you'll be getting good clouds. Yep, soon after. Good clouds. You get a really pretty long session too. I mean, the coals last probably, I'd say, twice as long in this than using tin foil. I feel like because well, I don't know if this would make sense, but I feel like not as much air is hitting them when they're in this,
so they don't burn out as quick. But I think that actually is the opposite, because if they're not hitting it, if air's not hitting them, then they'll just go out. Which isn't the case at all because they stay lit the whole time.
Right, and there's really no need to ash them. I mean, if you leave them in there,
you could just blow it out if there's some ash sitting from switching coals or something like that.
And it'll just fly out right on the side.
If you blow right in the middle, it would just come out the sides. It won't go down into the bowl or anything. Oh, that's another good thing. There's no ash really gets inside of your bowl.
Yep. And like I said, there's no need for tin foil because this part here is actually just touching the shisha. These
balls touch the tobacco. They go in a little bit to get a more even like heat distribution.
Yep. One thing I'm going to say is after you use this, you're definitely going to want to clean it right away.
It's pretty easy if you just grab tongs and then run it under some cold water really quick.
Yep.
And then
got some tongs here. You want to hold it like this. Some people try to put the pair of tongs in like that.
It works. It's just not as stable.
Right. You can't really get a good grip. But I just say take this attachment off and just grab it like this, and you can run it over to the sink.
While it's still hot, the shisha comes off way easier.
Yep. And sometimes you'll notice we were just smoking Starbuzz out of it. There was a big layer of shisha on here, which isn't really like a bad thing.
It's not like burnt. It's just because that is touching the foil.
Right. This would be like the equivalent of tobacco sticking to the foil.
Except it's not burnt. It's weird.
I know. It was weird. Also, a good thing to do if there's tobacco stuck to this, you want to grab like a really brittle brush, just like a regular brush here,
like a kitchen brush.
Yep.
If you just kind of scrub it.
Yeah. I go like this, just scrub it underneath the water, and I even put some really hot water in there, so
it cleans up pretty easily. Surprisingly, you'd think that it would if you use those screens instead of foil, then. Because those don't clean up at all. So.
Yep. And this will pretty much fit on any type of bowl, pretty much. I mean, except for like the Flying Saucer and the Crown Classic.
Yeah, I just got
any bowl that will is higher than the rim, in the middle. Like some Vortex bowls are higher up in the spire.
Then it would just sit on there and then roll around because it's the only point touching is the middle. Oops.
We actually have our Alien funnel
packed with social smoke blue raspberry,
and we just plop the Lotus right on over there. Then it's good.
And now we'll get to the smoking portion.
Yep. So I'm gonna make a cut right here, and we're gonna show you guys while we're smoking it to show you the clouds and all that jazz.
And we'll also show you the placement of the coals while they're in there.
Yep. So yeah.
Alright.
We're back.
So we're back. We just put the coals in, and I'll show you where it's at now. Which that's probably just from the cold.
Yep.
During this process, keep these closed just to speed it up a bit.
Yep.
And
we pretty much just relax for the next 5 minutes while the coals are heating up the Lotus itself.
The 5 minutes in the beginning is. I'm trying to think of a good word. They give it back to you in the duration of the smoke.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a good word.
Yep.
But.
Yep. You just kind of sit back, relax, and give yourself some green tea.
So social smoke blue raspberry, the Lotus obviously, the KM Shaman and the new host. I wish I knew how to say it.
Yeah, new host, you say that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. But yeah. Estimated wait time, 5 minutes.
Oh, we should have timed it.
Oh.
Well, we just put them on. We can still do it.
Yeah, no. The video's doing it.
Oh, the video's doing it. What am I thinking?
We got it covered, dude.
Alright, cool.
But
Alrighty.
Yep. I'm probably gonna time lapse.
Should we show what we got going on in there?
Oh yeah, sure. Actually, here we go. Right on the action. Here we go. Oh,
pretty basic, just back and forth.
Yep, 2 Cocoa Buzz Coels in there, and yeah.
Throw this back on. Alright, so we're almost to, not almost to, but we're getting closer to full cloud potential.
So right now the clouds are about at least
I'd much rather wait an extra 5 minutes and smoke for an extra hour.
Hour.
Patience is a virtue, so just remember that with this product.
Yeah.
As opposed to the 3 hits it takes with coals and foil. It's just an extra, what, 4 minutes, 3 minutes? So, we're pretty much there now. When you smoke with the Lotus...
That's all right. Remember now. Keep going.
When you smoke with the Lotus, since it's not direct, well, not with foil, it's not direct contact, but it's less direct contact. It is. There's no. It's hard to explain. There's no direct contact with the foil, with the shisha and the
Lotus.
The coals is what I'm trying to say. There is direct contact with the Lotus and the shisha, but since there is none with the coals and the shisha, I feel like it gives you a much cleaner taste.
Much more natural taste instead of all the coaly taste.
Like this tastes really good, but normally you don't get like coal taste. But I feel like when you smoke with the Lotus, it's just like a whole different flavor.
Oh yeah.
The flavor's the same, but it's just like it feels cleaner.
It's like you don't really notice it until you use a Lotus, and you're like, wow. You can actually. It's like you use tinfoil like your whole life or whatever, and then you use the Lotus,
and you're like, wow. Then you
go back to coals and tinfoil, and then you're like, wow, this isn't as good as it was with the Lotus.
If you get the Lotus, smoke a flavor that you smoked with foil, like recently, and then put it in the Lotus, and you'll taste a difference.
Guaranteed, pretty much.
Yeah. What else is there to say?
I love this product here. Heat management is so easy. You take a flavor that's hard to gets harsh pretty quickly, and then you like try with Lotus. And put Lotus on, and it's like a whole different story.
Yeah.
A whole different story.
Nice.
Yeah. Classic.
Flavor's weird. So clouds are good now. After about 5 minutes.
You're up to their full potential.
Full potential.
Oh, and another thing. I don't know if this is worth mentioning or not, but you can see the whole bowl now instead of tinfoil covering half of it.
It actually looks pretty cool.
It does. I'm going to show you guys, actually.
It looks very futuristic. It doesn't look so good on a KM because KM's a very traditional brand, and then you have this on top.
Yeah,
it just doesn't match the ensemble.
Just look at the alien. I mean, it looks really cool. You can see like all the ridges in it, but tinfoil would just cover all that up, and it looks really nice, really aesthetically pleasing, if I do say so myself. Put you right back.
Oh, this flavor gives pretty good clouds. Maybe that's the Lotus. I don't know.
So yeah.
The thing is, there are a lot of people that are very skeptical about this. Myself being one of them before I got it. When you see it, you just think it's just like a screen with a wind cover built in.
And people think you're going to be lazy for heat management. Like, oh, I'm just going to use the Lotus because I don't feel like moving the coals around.
It's not like that. I mean, it is easier, but I don't use it because
you're lazy.
Yeah, because I can manage heat just fine with tinfoil and coals. I just use it because I feel like it's like a good alternative, a better alternative.
Yeah, I mean, if you want your sessions to last longer, why not?
I think that this is one of the products that'll not revolutionize, but like change the hookah smoking world. If enough people buy it, then it'll be like a standard. Not a standard, it won't be standard.
Like a staple.
Yeah, it'll be like something that people will like want to have.
Yeah.
But most people are just kind of skeptical because they're so used. It's like hookah rep put it this way. He was like, it's like riding a bike for 10 years with 2 pedals and then they just throw another one on. Because you're not used to it. But you're very quick to transition from coals and foil to coals and the Lotus. Because there's really nothing to do. You just kind of put the coals in there and you go.
Yeah. And people are like, oh, that's it? That's all you do? Yeah, that's all you do. Drop the coals in, wait 5 minutes.
And then if it gets hot, open it up. If it gets even hotter,
take it off.
Take it off.
We've never actually had to
take a coal out.
Take a coal out or even put an actual wind cover on it.
Well, I don't think that won't even be possible.
I think I've seen someone take the rubber thing off.
Possible.
I think I've seen someone take the rubber thing off and put a wind cover on it.
When you could
just try it, and you could. I don't know.
This may not be that effective, but it definitely does something. Like it's a noticeable difference.
Oh my fucking god! That cloud was enormous.
That KFC's coming back to haunt me. Oh man.
Oh my god, that was huge. All right. Anyway, is that about it?
I think we can keep going.
Never mind. Not about it. But yeah, clean up with the Lotus is friggin' easy.
It's easy, but it's not as easy.
Not as easy as foil.
Because all you do with foil is you throw it away and put a new piece on. This you have to run it under some cold water and just scrape it off, and then you're good to go. But truthfully, you could just take the shisha off and just put it back on. No problem.
Make sure you don't do it with your hands, though.
Yeah, it'd be really hot. Just maybe if you have a second pair of tongs, just grab it with one, and then scrape it with the other, and then put it on your
some grilling gloves.
Yeah. Ooh. Put it on your new bowl, and then put some new coals in, and then just go.
One thing we've noticed when we smoke Tangiers with the Lotus is you have to the normal way you pack Tangiers is
dense, right with the spire. If you're using a funnel bowl, which I recommend, I don't know. I'm recently using the Crown Classic V4, which is a little bit different. The little marble is pretty much the spire in that case.
But anyway, you're supposed to fluff the tobacco up a little bit.
Well, you pack it dense, and then after that, you just kind of open it up with a toothpick, because when you poke your holes with Tangiers, you poke them all the way down to get airflow so that it doesn't just burn the top.
It goes all the way through.
So when you're using this, you're not poking holes, so you just kind of open it up like you would do when you were poking holes, just a little bit, just to get the airflow to go all the way down and just not the top layer.
We've actually had that happen before we figured out what to do.
Yeah.
And it was pretty bad.
Flavor is that? Welsh cream?
I think it was.
Welsh cream, I feel like it burns easy.
Yeah. But we used the Lotus in the review, and it was... Did we use the Lotus in the review?
Yeah.
Well, either way, we smoked Welsh cream with the Lotus.
With the technique, with the... Open it up with the... You do... When you're packing like a premium cut, like Sfumari, Star Buzz, Social Smoke, you kind of want to pack it down a little bit, and then just fluff it out with the toothpick. Well, when you're using a shallow bowl, if you're using like a small funnel, just fluff it in, and maybe just pack it a tiny bit, just to kind of get a little duration in your smoke, and then just open it up again a little bit.
I showed the rap music video.
Yeah, oh yeah. But I feel like it makes your session longer and enjoyable, because you don't have to keep adjusting coals, rotating coals, ashing coals, flipping coals. You just put them in there.
Yep. And
that's not because I'm lazy, I promise. Because I've been smoking like a year with foil, and I haven't been smoking long, but like a year with foil holes and coals. Foil holes and coals. Just
I opened it up a little bit, and there's ash accumulating onto the coals, but still no need to ash them out.
No need to ash them.
Yep. And I'm probably just gonna cut to another video showing when the coals are getting a little smaller, and we're gonna put another coal on.
Yeah.
Just so we can show you that you push two over, the two that were already in there over, and put another one on. So it's like two halves or one, and then another one is two. But yeah.
I think that's it for this segment.
So yeah, Kaloud Lotus. I don't know if you give it a rating. I mean, it's the only one of its kind.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, I guess.
They did a good job, and you're getting quality. This is high quality metal. It's very thick. It's not gonna break on you.
Yep. I actually posted a picture on my Instagram of me smoking and watching the Bruins game, and I didn't even realize I had the Lotus. Well, I didn't. I know, but I didn't really think about it. And I posted on Instagram, and Kaloud Inc. commented on it. It's like, and they were like Kaloud Lotus in the hizzy, and it was cool. They really recognize if you post a picture on Instagram and write hashtag Kaloud Lotus or anything. I mean,
we didn't hashtag anything.
I think I hashtagged hookah.
Yeah,
and that's it. And they were like, "Oh, look at this." But yeah, it's definitely worth the investment.
If the way I look at it is, if you enjoy smoking, like if you thoroughly enjoy, what's $50 to improve your enjoyment of smoking?
Right, exactly.
That's how I look at it. I personally think it's worth the money, easily.
It's kind of like this. If you really like watching movies, and you just watch them on like a regular TV, and then this new thing comes out, a Blu-ray player, and you're like, oh, well, I like watching DVDs, but I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical about this new Blu-ray thing. And then people are buying it, and they're like, oh, this is really, like, amazing. So then you're like, oh, I'll try it. So you buy it, Blu-ray player.
Wow,
like,
the picture's amazing.
Yeah, it's like the best thing I ever did. Blu-ray players are a shitload of money, but it's worth it in the end because you enjoy what you're doing already much more.
Yeah, so I think we made that clear. It's worth, if you smoke a lot, it's worth the money, without a doubt. And since you use 2 coals every time, basically, I've never had to use 3 coals. You save coals and shisha at the same time because your bowl lasts longer. And when you add a new coal, you only have to use 1 because you're using the 2 smaller pieces as a coal. So I think, well, it will, in like a month or 2, pay for itself in coals and shisha. I'm not going to do the math out, but it makes sense.
Everything's going off. We got to end this Kaloud Lotus review.
Grab your